Nicki Sun. Hello, welcome!
Hi! And welcome to TechNicki Speaking by Nicki Sun. Nicki Sun here to talk about the Arlo Pro 4 Spotlight camera. The best part. A PC so custom, it has my logo on it.
Samsung reached out and I was able to create my directorial debut.
NAB show spokesperson, Nicki Sun.
Would you do it again?
For sure.
Absolutely.
You're zooming in on me. And at the same time, I have no director or cameraman.
Right now, you're like Asian Daenerys in my mind.
I've always been the mother of cameras.
I'm surprised they still fit it.
When other women see us in front of the camera, they're inspired to do it too.
Let's go.
Nicki's an amazing entrepreneur slash content creator slash female director slash cinematographer slash Asian ambassador.
She's talking about choosing the right camera for the job.
Woo!
If one person says seeing you do this inspires me to even get into the field, that makes my day. I've done my job.
We are joined.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of TechNicki Speaking. I'm your host, Nicki Sun. Happy Tuesday, it's November 8th. It's also the day to vote. I hope everybody went out and voted today, no matter if you feel like your vote makes a difference or not. In reality, it actually does. So even if it was just one vote for a candidate or a measure or a proposition, I hope that you were able to mark in that bubble and drop it in the ballot box. Also, if you're on the West Coast, you still have time. I will allow it. You can totally wait in line, listen to my live stream, and get to the polls before 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know on the East Coast, it's kind of done already, but we still have less than an hour for those of you in California on the West Coast if you want to get your votes in. So please, please, please exercise that right to vote and do it. But yeah, I actually was wearing a branded sweater, so I put my sticker right over it. But anyways, I want to give a shout out. Thank you so much to everybody joining today. Just want to make sure my audio is on. Yep. Hello, hi Dawn. Brian, what's up? Nelson, hello. Oh, you made it. I know you had commented on one of my videos on Facebook and you were like, hopefully I'll make it tonight. So good to see you, Nelson. I'm glad that you were able to make it. I'm just checking in on my channels to see where we are. Oh yeah, okay, so there's this new thing now on Facebook. Shout out, hello Diones on Facebook. See on YouTube, it's going there. Yeah, so there's this thing called stars now that I just was able to unlock on Facebook. So apparently you can send me stars on Facebook, which I don't know if it helps provide me little tips, financial or monetary tips, but whether you try it or not, go for it, but I really appreciate it. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. I do a live show every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is a show on lifestyle, technology, entertainment, and some cool Amazon finds to help you in your content creator journey. So that is today's topic. I realized in the whole year that I've been live on Amazon that I actually haven't just shared all my favorites as a content creator. And before I get started, oh, hello, Vladimir. Good to see you in the comments. Yes, if you have an Amazon account, please log in so you can join the chat. We're very friendly, so don't worry. But yeah, sign in. Make sure you hit the follow button. I would really, really appreciate it if you shared with your friends. If they are looking for a channel or a destination to just be live and just feel like one and ask all these questions about gear or tech, this is the place. So I hope you hit follow and check out all this other content that I have for you as well. But I'm gonna remove some of these videos on here so I can just show you some cool things. So I will just say before hopping right into it, speaking of content creation, I was able to kick off the Final Cut Pro Global Summit, which is like a 10-city tour, not only nationwide, but they're also going to Paris, London, Madrid, Tokyo. I feel like I'm missing one, so forgive me, but I was only involved in the US side of it. So this past Thursday was the inaugural kickoff of the FCP Global Summit, and they decided to bring this summit from their Cupertino office, the Apple office in Cupertino, to very select cities so we could have more intimate settings and one-on-ones with the Apple team, as well as speakers who are versed in Final Cut Pro. And for those of you who don't know, Final Cut Pro is a non-linear editing video editing program. There's Premiere Pro, there's DaVinci Resolve, there's Avid, but I utilize it if you are a Mac user and you have this on your computer. It is the Final Cut Pro. And I remember editing with Final Cut 7 before it got discontinued in 2011. So I know I'm aging myself, but I don't care. I just want to share with you that I've been around. And now with FCPX or Final Cut Pro 10, there is just so much more that has happened with every update, with every plugin that I think content creators can enjoy. So I know on Amazon it's very product based because it's not like I can link Final Cut Pro X, but that is the program that I utilize. And at the same time, I just wanted to give you like a little sneak peek of what went down when I was in New York. So shout out to the FMC or Future Media conferences for having me. Shout out to Apple and Motion VFX and Powered by OWC for sponsoring this whole global summit tour where users can now get certified. So that's right, just how you're able to get certification and put that on your LinkedIn or your job resume that you are able to video edit. Final Cut Pro, as of this year, just released accreditation. So you can get certified as a Final Cut Pro user, not only as a regular film editor or documentary or short film editor, but also as a social editor as well. So that meaning that like social media content creation. So being able to put that on your LinkedIn resume or your job portfolio is a huge perk if you've been a Final Cut Pro user in the past and just never had something to show for it besides just your personal portfolio. So this is going to be a globally recognized in partnership with Apple, and Final Cut Pro is only being taught by Ripple Training, which I'm learning right now actually. So if you actually use the code FCPSUN, S-U-N, which is my last name, FCPSUN, you can get 10% off of your exam. So just letting you know. So if you're interested in that, hit me up on Instagram. Let me know if you're interested, but would love to see more people get certified in Final Cut Pro. And just giving you a little sneak peek of what went down. Let me look at my footage. Okay, so let me just turn off the audio on this because I just wanted to show you what it looks like. Thank you, Vladimir. And speaking of which, I just learned that you can totally reread the comments now, so I don't have to say everything, but I still like saying things out loud just in case things go awry. But here is a little sneak peek of my keynote in New York City this past Thursday. Yeah, I turned off the audio because you know me, I like to have things polished. But shout out to this amazing teacher, Steven, who is a chemistry teacher and unbeknownst to me was recording it on his phone, and he was able to airdrop the footage to me. But my presentation was about an hour, and I talked about creating nonlinear workflows in Final Cut Pro and in life, and just letting you know, linear, one after the other, an editing program that lets you take pieces to edit in the front of your clips or in the middle or on top, makes it nonlinear editing program. So I was just comparing Final Cut Pro as a metaphor to my life, where my life has not been linear. My life has been like a Final Cut Pro timeline that has many, many, many layers and many, many different styles and out of order to certain people in society, but to me it's very much has been my flow. But yeah, that was what it looked like. It was so cool to see like so many screens. So we were actually at the United Federation of Teachers on, I think it's like 52 Pearl Street in New York. So it was really, really cool just to be like there. So if you saw my last live stream last week, I was talking about all the travel essentials that I take with me when I travel, including content or gear when I want to create content. But I was laughing because I had talked so much about what I need to bring on the plane and like a mouse, and then obviously I packed, and your girl left her mouse on the table. So I was like, oh my goodness. So it was a little bummer, but at the same time, I was able to just figure out and make my presentation pretty on the plane utilizing some of the gear. So today we're going to talk about my favorite gear when it comes to content creation, and that could be content creation in general. So I know I've broken it down in the past for like live streams, filmmaking and stuff, but just in general, when I want to travel, when I want to capture content, I look for things that are portable, travel friendly, light, just easy to use, and something that I'm going to use all the time. So sometimes we think, oh, we're going to pack our bags, we're going to go on this vacation, I'm going to capture everything, but then in reality, you end up worrying about, oh my gosh, I have like about $5,000 worth of equipment in my bag, and if someone steals it or something breaks, then I've lost that, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna go over some of my favorite gear when I travel, because next week, actually, I'm headed to Hawaii. It's my first vacation, I would say, this year that's actually a vacation. Every time I've traveled this past year has actually been for either a wedding, bachelorette, or for work. So I'm really excited to finally go on my first vacation this year to Hawaii. So because of that, I'm not going to actually be having a live stream. I was thinking about doing a live stream in Hawaii on Tuesday, but one, I'm not quite sure if that would make any of y'all jealous, and two, I don't want to bring all my gear with me. And three, I don't have an iPhone and an iPad to bring with me, so I wouldn't be able to stream live anyways. So yeah, I figured those of you who've been watching want me to take a vacation, right? So I'm just gonna be missing next week. But so yeah, this stream is mainly for what am I gonna bring to Hawaii next week, and also slash what am I gonna bring and what are my favorite content creation tools as creators. So you've heard me talk about this plenty of times. I'm going to repeat myself just a little bit because what I'm doing now is cutting down my live streams. So I'll go back in time and figure out what I need to redo in my next live streams to get it as accurately as possible to make it easier for editing when I cut it down. But first things first, the Joby Grip Tight Gorilla Pod, again, favorite thing. I'm also repeating myself because I had a lot of students from last week's keynote never knew I had an Amazon live stream. So I was like, come this Tuesday. So I figured this Tuesday would be like a pretty big important one to go over content creation tools again for a lot of the students who are looking to start their YouTube channel or start their TikTok channel. So this is actually one of my favorite desktop tripods. Not only does it bend and you can wrap it around your arm, street poles if you want to, or just put it on a table, it's a solid, sturdy desktop tripod. So A of all, love that. Again, with Joby 2, you're always gonna get quality. And also a pro tip for all my creators out there, Joby actually supports their creators like 100%, like with paid brand partnerships. So if you are looking not only to have great equipment, but also to, communicate and get associated with a brand that actually values and supports creators, take a look at Joby. So the one that I have is in my carousel. Again, if you're looking on this chat online on Amazon, you'll see what products I'm clicking on at the bottom of your phone. And if you're watching this on a computer screen, it'll be on the left side highlighted in red as a red box around it. So just letting you know where to find everything. All right, so this Joby Grip Tight Pro 2 Gorilla Pod, favorite thing, okay? And you can take off the top to put this on top of any standard 1/4-20 tripod, which is amazing because let's say you want it to be taller than your desktop and you want to be able to utilize your phone in the field, then you're able to put this utilizing the standard 1/4-20 and put this on any tripod that you currently have already with the 1/4-20 base. But I'm going to put it back on. But that's what I love about it because like a lot of Joby gear is universal with what I already have elsewhere and what you universally have as well. I'm going to refresh my Twitter feed because I was sharing about my stream and there's a tarantula. And I'm like, let's not do that. I don't need to be looking at this tarantula on the side while I'm talking about my favorite gear. But yeah, oh, Nikki, what's up? Hi, sis. Good to see you. We're talking about my favorite content creator tools. So obviously, you've heard the GripTight Pro Joby GorillaPod, love it. And I didn't show you guys this before, but on the side, there's also 2 other quarter 20s in this GorillaPod. So you're able to attach like those legs to the side. And again, it's a standard quarter 20. So if you wanted to hang another light or another mic off the side and then bend it accordingly, you could totally do that. So it's a really cool option to have. Again, my favorite feature about this phone mount is the non-sling, what do you call that? What do you call it? The expansion arms. So I'm able to just open it wide and stick my phone in. And then once I put the clamp on, I just turn it to the right and it's already held on. And then yes, let me push this down. And then once I have it like this, I can turn it and put it upwards this way. So obviously I put it in upside down, but I'll just do it this way. You can see my phone. And yeah. And then also you're able to tilt as well. So it's not like you have to bend it. So you can tilt it down forward, tilt it down here. And utilizing the tripod, you're able to bring it down as far as you want. You can angle it however you want. If you want to do a top down, you totally could if you have like a balance. So actually, let's try that now. Let's try to make this a top down. Yeah. Yeah, see that right here? So you can totally do a overhead if you wanted to. So if you're like painting your nails, for instance, and you want to showcase that, you can totally do that as well. So I love this tripod. And the one thing, obviously, that I love about it is the shoe mount right here. Because when I pair it up with my Aperture MC light, which I will talk about too as one of my favorite content creator tools, you're able to put it on this shoe mount right here like this, and you can move it. Here, let me actually loosen this so I can tighten it. And I'm putting this together because, speaking of which, I launched my TechNicki Speaking reel, the new one that you now see at the beginning of my show. So my show opener, brand new. And also launching today was our podcast, Messy Sexy Me's sizzle reel. So I had 2 major parts of my life launched today. And we are deciding to turn our season 2 into more of a video-based podcast as well as audio. So I am trying to hook them up, since we're all gonna be recording on Riverside in separate locations, hook them up with gear that they need when they're recording the podcast solo. So I basically sent my co-host Quincy the Joby tripod. You're coming in from New Zealand. That's so awesome. Let me see what is happening here, because it seems like my live stream is doing something right now. Am I back live? I will say, I don't know where you all are. I know now Nikki is in New Zealand, so thank you for tuning in. But it seems like my stream went down a little bit. Nelson's like, did the stream drop? So I can confirm then yes. My live stream on Facebook ended due to internet interruptions. I will say it is windy right now. Windiest it has ever been. It also rained a lot today. That did not stop me from going to the polls to vote. So please bear with me if I tend to drop in and out. But yeah, usually when this happens, especially in LA, like any drop of rain, all of a sudden no one knows how to drive. And also, sometimes our internet connectivity can't handle it because everybody's trying to access it at once. Also, it's cold. Everybody wants to snuggle and cuddle and be indoors and watch Netflix. And so probably a lot of internet is being utilized right now, but that is my assumption. Oh, thank you so much to my friend Brian as well for letting me know. He's always so great at QAing a lot of and QCing, quality control, my Facebook and YouTube. But Amazon is up, but YouTube is out. And apparently Facebook is out too. So Let's see, is Facebook out still? Let me double check. How are we doing on Facebook? I feel like the last comment I got was at 7:06. I think it ended because it said TechNicki Speaking was live. This is just great, you guys. This is what I get for trying to stream everywhere all at once. But it's nice to know that at the end of the day, what is continuing to happen and go live is Amazon. So that's what these are intended for initially, so we'll do that. But anyways, that is the Joby Grip Tight Gorilla Pod. So if you don't have like a solid setup and you're looking to start a YouTube channel and with just your phone, this is like a great honestly, a great setup that is way more affordable than what you would normally get when you're buying full-size tripods, basically full-size everything. So if you're a content creator that you utilize your mobile phone anyways when you're creating reels, you have oh my gosh, I cannot speak today. It's been a long day, just saying that. I've been up since like 7 a.m. launching all these things. But I will say, yeah, if you have cinematic mode on your iPhone or you just have a smartphone that is basically shooting already 1080p or 4K, you're solid. So if you're just starting out on your YouTube channel, you don't want to invest so much in a DSLR mirrorless camera system, or you just are waiting to save up for that ecosystem that you absolutely love, use your phone. Start with your phone. So I would just say start with your phone, and then you can utilize it. And not only can you record videos vertically, and always try to shoot on a tripod, unless you're trying to go for that shaky Blair Witch Project footage, but you're able to also just shoot horizontally as well. And what I would suggest you do too is always use the front camera, or I mean the back camera, because it's always going to be higher megapixel than the front camera. And I know on iPhone there's actually a really cool feature. I will have to give iPhone this feature. When you plug in your phone to QuickTime using the lightning cord to your laptop, you're actually able to see a monitor for free. So if you already have a Mac and you're able to plug it in with your iPhone, that's another way of using the back-facing camera. And then you're like, well, I can't see myself because I can only see myself when I'm doing the front-facing camera or the selfie camera. That's a way you can look at it. So just like right now, I'm staring at the camera, but I have my monitor on the side where I know if that I'm in frame, if I'm in focus, if the stream goes down. So even though there is like a delay, I'm able to usually see and monitor what I look like. So you're able to do that even with your phone. So that's really, really cool. Oh, Brian says YouTube is back. Awesome. I don't know how that works. Does it just hop back on the feed? Not quite sure that works. Or does it make 2 separate videos when it starts and stops? Not sure. Oh, thanks, sis. You gotta go. Want to say hi from New Zealand. Have a great stream. Thank you so much, sis. Shout out to Nikki, by the way. She, her name is also Nikki, but she spells it with 2 Ks. But I think we found each other on YouTube and Twitter like so many years ago, and we just connected first of all over our name, duh, and then just our love of community and just our interests. So I don't know if she's here to hear all the sappiness, but I just want to say that I appreciate folks who have been with me since day one of starting and launching my YouTube channel back in 2009. So it really was a journey today to drop my new reel for my second YouTube channel that I started from scratch. When I started from scratch in 2019, 10 years later from, oh my God, it is 10 years. So my first YouTube channel I launched in 2009. My second YouTube channel I launched in 2019. So 10 years after, oh my goodness. So every decade I reinvent myself. But it was daunting to start my YouTube channel from scratch. So for those of you who, again, and like I was saying in my keynote in New York last week, for those of you who are starting content, never feel like the market is oversaturated. Like, you have your own unique story. You are uniquely you. No one else will be you. There will never be another you. So own that and take pride in that. And whatever it is that you want to create a channel on, just give it a shot. And if you're just starting a channel and you don't know what to talk about things you like doing, and you don't have to be so stuck. Like, for instance, I don't always have to talk about tech all the time, but that's why I put my other stuff on Nicki Sun. But when I do want to just talk all about tech, I have my TechNicki speaking side. So feel free to like always vary it up. Throw cooking videos out there, throw music videos out there, like show the world what you're interested in, and the audience will tell you exactly what kind of content they like. If you're still unsure what you like, but you still like doing a lot of things. But oh, Nicki, darn. She said she's still here. We met 12 years ago. Yesterday, was yesterday exactly 12 years to the T? Oh my goodness. Yesterday was November 7th. So November 7th, 2010. I did quick math because it is 2022. 12 years ago is 20, yeah, so, so 2010. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much, Nicki. I appreciate you for being able to like pivot with me throughout my journey. And that's right, because we met on your birthday, November 7th. Happy belated, my sister. Thank you so much again for being with me, and happy birthday. So grateful that we met so many years ago, and I'm grateful that you're still in my life. So I hope you have all the best. I hope you're having a great birthday in New Zealand. Shoot, my goodness. Nelson says happy belated birthday too. Oh, see, there's so much love in the chat. So if you're watching from any other platform, you gotta come in on Amazon, hit that follow button. There's also a star button in the bottom right corner. So if you can please smash it throughout the stream, I'll let other people know that this is a live stream worth watching. But yeah, happy birthday. And yeah, so this is what I would recommend as a rig, easy rig with your phone. If you're creating content with your phone, did I just rhyme or did I say phone twice? I don't know. Okay, so anyways, so this is great for if you want to record your TikTok videos, your Instagram Reels, vertical or landscape videos, or YouTube videos. So easy way to start your YouTube channel, no excuses, because back when Ryan Higa launched his channel, one of the most successful YouTubers back in the day, he filmed on his webcam. And that didn't stop him from being one of the most successful YouTubers in the world. So I know times have changed now, people expect a little more, but honestly, with the quality of smartphones, you can totally just use your smartphones. And the fact is, your phone is gonna be with you every single day. So might as well start utilizing and optimizing what you already have to create perfect content. So now that I've explained the Joby setup and also the Joby Grip Type Pro, PS, if you already have like a standard desktop stand or just want to use your tripod, no worries, but I really do recommend this specific head, which is the Grip Type 2 Pro mount. So I do have that in my carousel as well. It's just the head versus the head and the body. So feel free to just get that if you're just looking for that to add to your setup. Speaking of tripods and ball mount heads, I just want to share with you the tripod ball head Ulanzi again. One of my favorite ones. I just feel bad because I never get to share it with you because I use it as for my main camera right now. But if you are looking to do content that's not on your phone, so the first setup that I was talking about, perfect for mobile content creation. This setup is great if you have your mirrorless DSLR or even your point and shoot camera and there is a 1/4-20 at the bottom of your camera. This is where you would use this tripod ball head from Ulanzi. It's in the carousel right now, one of my favorites. It is a 360 ball head, so that means you're able to put your camera on it and it'll spin 360 degrees. There is also a clutch that hangs it at a 90, so you're able to really capture content not only in landscape, but also in vertical for your TikTok or vertical videos. So really great option if you're not using the phone and using a point and shoot, DSLR, mirrorless camera when you're creating content. And also there is, just like the Joby, there is also a cold shoe mount as well. So if you wanted to attach a light or maybe like a microphone, because seeing where it's located on the bottom of Ulanzi, the light might not be the best place to put it there unless you want that up light shot. But you can put your microphone there as well. So that's another good place to put your microphone. I'm just seeing a lot of action right now, so I wanted to just say hello. Oh my gosh, Rome, what's up? That is so cool. I still gotta figure out how you do all of that stuff because that's really awesome. Shout out to Rome Knows Tech. Follow his channel too because he does know his tech and it's awesome seeing him do his magic and utilizing all the stream gear that he has for his live streams. And again, happy belated birthday to Nikki. And what's up? Hi, Richard. So good to see you. Yes, Nikki's storefront. Always reminding me too that yes, I have a storefront. As much as I like to talk about just any kind of just tech, I do realize I forget to pitch my storefront. So everything that I talk about will be available on my page, regardless if you catch me live or not. So again, this is where you can find me, amazon.com/shop/Nicki Sun. I swear, I hope that Amazon has a better way of having me link, because there's currently no way to find me unless you have my direct URL. The search button in the live stream, if you were to type Nicki, I don't think I pop up. So currently, I would love it if Amazon could update the way you find streamers on Amazon, but I'm just so happy that you have found me. And to stay connected with me, I hope you please follow me. I go live every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In addition, if you follow me, it will send you a bell notification when I do go live if I decide to, on a random, like Black Friday or Cyber Monday, go live, which is outside of my normally scheduled Tuesdays. But yes, that is me. Oh, I have some new people in here. Well, I know Richard, Ricky. I see you, Richard and Ricky. So hello, Ricky, what's up? Richard, what's up? Quinley, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You want to see something cool? I don't know if you have Alexa or not, but speaking of which, I'm just gonna like show you, and I'm gonna skip to another content creator fave, is smart teching my home. So again, I would recommend, highly recommend, if you're gonna do any Amazon Echo, to do the 4th gen, because that clock is clutch. I noticed that every single one they've been releasing doesn't have a clock, but I'm looking at it right now and it's lighting up because one of my packages is not gonna come in until tomorrow, most likely due to the rain being so hard in Los Angeles today. And maybe also because there's a lot of like voting happening at the polls, so which I hope so. I hope everybody is out there voting. And if you're in California, you know, you have until 8 p.m. to like drop off that ballot or stand in line and get that vote in. But again, even if it's just one candidate or one measure or proposition that you're interested in making sure that passes, please do that. Your vote does matter. And I'm not just saying that. I've been a part of like a couple of campaigns in the past just to get the word out to vote, because showing up is like the first step in just telling candidates and your like county or your state that you exist and that what I have to say matters. So please do that. But speaking about Quinley, who says she loves my background, I love smart teching my home. And the Echo Dot from Alexa, oh, I said that and it started, it started lighting up. But with the Echo Dot, which has the time, which allows me to keep track of time when I'm doing my lives, to not go over time as much as possible, paired it up with the Singled Smart Wi-Fi LED, which is this light strip in the back. So let's start from the back. I will say this has helped because I'll prepare for my Zoom meetings, and literally just, was it yesterday? I went live for the Final Cut Pro Summit in Orlando, and our Zoom screen got put on the giant screen in the auditorium. So I'm pretty sure I got seen at such a bigger scale, but I will say I was running a little late because, you know, when I'm creating content, I wait till the last minute to get ready. So I literally had not had any makeup on. I waited to 1:52 p.m. when my live went at 2, so I had 8 minutes to put my face on. It was so clutch to be, Alexa, turn off my backlights, as I was running to do my makeup. So yes, when you can smart tech your home, you're able to have them work with you as you're running around getting things ready, getting your tea, because I always love getting a tea before any of my live streams. Speaking of which, let me take a sip right now. Oh, wet my whistle. Okay, but yeah, so this is able to be a different color. As you can tell, I have a white background. It's textured. This is actually a fireplace, but I really like the texture. And when you bounce light off of a white wall, it becomes that color. So I love being able to diversify my background depending on my mood, how I'm feeling. Maybe one of the brands I'm shooting content for, their color is green. So we can do that. So actually, and the thing about this, I can tell my Echo Dot to isolate different colors. And with the Singlet Smart Wi-Fi LED strip, you actually have access to 14 different colors. You have modes as well. My favorite personally is warm white, which is the color you saw earlier. And there's a couple of adjustments that I need to do in that sometimes I want to say pink or a different color of violet, but you have to say it specifically, like it's a magenta. And so once you learn your colors, you'll be able to do it all the time, but I love doing it on warm white. So let's build our set from my voice, utilizing the Echo Dot 4th Gen with the clock, and also the Singlet Smart Wi-Fi LED strip, which I have selected in my carousel. All right, Alexa, turn on my light strip.
Okay.
Okay, so when I say light strip instead of backlights, because my backlights also include my side panel, which is my blue wall as well, but sometimes I don't want the blue. It is my signature blue when I do my TechNicki speaking videos on YouTube, which by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. I promise. I used to put a full video out outside of Amazon Live every Thursday, but then I realized it was just catching up to me. It was just so much content. And I also run a podcast as well too and do the audio editing for that. So one of the questions during my keynote is how many channels do you operate and what are some ways, how do I keep up with all of it? So I think ultimately I run about 11 plus channels, and that's like Nicki Sun, TechNicki Speaking, Messy Sexy Me, and then each one of those channels has like a YouTube, an Instagram, a Facebook, even LinkedIn, a specific website for each one. So there's a lot of content all the time. So when it comes to creating content, I hope you know that I have painstakingly done this for 12 years, and this is truly my favorite gear as content creators. But to make it easier when I'm creating content, that's why I love these smart lights and technologies, because before I used to take out the USB-A plug for each of the lights, and it wasn't just as fun. So now when I'm creating by myself, I feel like I have like a grip or like a PA on set. When I need the lights on, I just say turn on all my lights, or just turn on this backlight, or change it without having to lift a finger. So let's change it. Let's see, today let's do blue. Alexa, turn my light strip blue.
Okay.
Yay, and it's blue now. Alrighty, but because I want to put on the blue back wall, I'll just turn on my light strip again. So Alexa, turn my light strip warm white. Oh, maybe I had too much of an accent there, which I usually get when I'm talking to Alexa. Alexa, turn my light strip warm white. She does not hear me today. Alexa, turn my light strip warm white.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. I was like, she had to pause a little bit on that one. But this is like my favorite color, which you can't see as much right now, but it does make a difference when I add everything else. So Alexa, turn on my backlights. She's thinking so much today. I really think it's like maybe the connectivity, knowing that my stream went down earlier. Alexa, turn on my backlights.
Okay.
Man, I guess I have to enunciate. She's like under pressure. Normally when I'm not doing a live stream and I say it that fast, she usually can register it, but she's being put on the spot right now. She can be a little shy. But yeah, this is my normal set. And then again, when I want to switch things, for instance, when I did Puget Systems, shout out to Puget Systems for sending me a custom 4K video editing PC, their colors are blue and green. So I actually kept the background blue, and then I turned my light strip green. So it was very much on brand, and they were like, oh, that is so cool. So really fun things to add to your setup. But yeah, how we doing, fam? Yeah, we good? All right, oh, I will say the one thing I haven't talked about so much before is Joby's other tripod. So we've talked about the Joby Grip Type 2, which is the desktop stand. We've talked now about the Ulanzi 360 ball head mount, which is more suited for DSLR and mirrorless cameras or point and shoot cameras. But now what if you want to go on the field, but you want something that will collapse and break down and can fit in a backpack or even also a carry-on? So when I travel, again, I want to have the lightest equipment possible. I want to also make sure that it works for everything that I need and it's not too crazy expensive. So I actually really like the Joby Range Pod. Currently it is in a different tripod bag because I really like this handle better. So the bag that came with the Joby Range Pod wasn't my favorite, but at least it came with the bag. So this is the Joby Range Pod. And the cool thing I like about it, again, first of all, it fits in my backpack. When you go hiking, when you have the outside bag with the little tripod snaps and fasteners on your backpack, it will stick there as well. So that's what I really like about it. And then also, it folds down pretty nicely. I'm just gonna just turn it off. So each one of these actually unscrews so it can give you even more length. So I'm just gonna unscrew one, unscrew two. So this actually extends pretty far. I think 72 inches, but let's just do it where I can show you. Okay, so I'm only unloosening these, but even this little guy unwinds as well like that. But I'm just gonna do that so I can do this. Okay. I have to be careful because sometimes when I have the tripods, it's very easy to break a nail. So I'm gonna do this. All right, so do this. And so even on the top, they have quick modes. So you're able to, I don't know if you can see it, but you can spread the leg of the tripod super wide or not, but this allows it to be even on all sides. So when you move these clips, this little knob here will prevent it from going further. So we'll just do the middle range one. So when you pull that back out, now this knob is hitting here, but if I wanted to go further, it will go even further. So what I'm gonna do is just put it here, put it here, put it here. That way it is evenly distributed in terms of the angle. Okay, oh, I guess I can go a little higher because you can't see that. So I'm just gonna pull the very, very end of this. Let me move it back here a little bit. Just be careful not to clip yourself. I've done that with many other tripods in the past before that are not as forgiving, and I've lost many nails in the process. So just be careful with the tripods. All right, so I just made it really high right now so you can see how high it goes. But that's not all, folks. I'm really feeling like a QVC person. But yeah, but that's not all, folks. So now you have this knob as well. And again, this tripod is smart and it fits in my bag and it doesn't have all these extra bulky things. So with the top as well, I'm able to also, where is it? I'm let me, oh, here it is. I was clicking the wrong button. On this side, you can also extend it even higher, but let's just do it like this. So I love things that just collapse. I feel like Inspector Gadget where everything is compact and it breaks down, but it could be this really massive thing or it could be a really tiny thing, but it's travel and portable. I don't know, it always reminds me of Spy Kids or Inspector Gadget. I also was really obsessed with Nancy Drew books when I was growing up. So the whole idea of solving mysteries with really compact, cool devices has always been a part of my identity. Maybe that's why I like tech so much, because I like breaking things apart and putting things back together. I just went on a tangent. I think I had too much tea today. Anyways, this is what it looks like. You can put this on. At the top, this is a 360 ball head again. So if you want to put your camera right here, let's just lock it in place right now so you can see what it looks like. You can also spin this or you can tighten it so it doesn't spin. But if you want it to rotate, you can unlock that and make it spin as well. So just imagine a camera on top, because I don't have an extra camera to spare. But let's see, when I do this, alrighty, then move it over here. Oh, and the cool thing is there is a quick release plate. So this is super awesome. So I will say, as much as I love the Grip Type Pro 2, the one thing about this bottom part is it's not a quick release. So, but when you put it on something like this, it can be a quick release. So, but then with the quick release, you're utilizing this more for your phone. But if you were to say, for instance, spin off that bottom base of that Joby Gorilla Pod, you'd have to like spin it all the way in order to get it off. The quick release plate prevents you from having to spin it until it falls off. So what you would do is take this plate right here, and at the bottom, you can use like a little tripod screw. You can also use a quarter. Shout out because Anna May Wong has her own quarter now, and I really want it. So if anybody knows how to get it, I think you just go to the bank, but I really want the very special Anna May Wong quarter that just came out. But yeah, you literally could use a quarter right here for that little plate thing right there. Let me cover my face so you can see that. But there's this little area that pulls out. So if you don't have a quarter, you can twist it just with your finger. So that is something that's really cool that not every single quick plate has, or quick release plate has. I'm trying to cover my face so it doesn't get it. Yeah, but see that? Yeah, you can totally blur that out. But I love that. So basically you would put this on the bottom of your camera or any quarter 20 device, and then you screw it in, and now your camera is attached to this quick release plate. So you don't have to spin your camera round and round and round and get it on. You can just put this in here and then tighten this up. And that's important, like for instance, if you are doing a tripod shot, but then all of a sudden someone's moving and maybe you need to chase them, which is my greatest fear, by the way. I do not like being chased. I don't know why I'm bringing this up because now everybody knows my worst fears. But if you needed to take your camera off of the tripod and all of a sudden move and leave this in the spot, or maybe for instance, your battery went dead for whatever reason and you need to have it in the same place, but you need to take the camera off in order to replace the battery, that's where a quick release plate comes in handy. So you can leave the tripod in the same spot, but if you just need to pop off the camera but leave it in the same position, you now can take the camera off with you and leave it however it is. So this is one of my favorite tripods. Oh, the only other thing I will say is at the very, very bottom, I don't know if you can see it, at the bottom of this is a hook. So for folks needing to put a sandbag or basically anything that handle your grocery bag, a purse, you can hang it right here. So there's some really extra nice features that this Joby Range Pod had that not other tripods have. And in addition, it was something that I could break down really easy, super travel friendly. And then the best part is that I can also make this go at a vertical. So if the camera was on here, their ball head mount, there is a little divot right here that allows you to put it exactly at a 90-degree angle, and then you can lock it in place. So you're able to not only shoot landscape, but now you can shoot vertical video again. So I know a lot of the tripods that content creators look for are ones that can go landscape to portrait mode really quickly and all the in-between. So that is exactly what you're getting with the Joby Range Pod. So one of my favorite tripods, and if you're looking for something like that that can do all the things, take a look at that. Yay, Charlie! Appreciate you for starting to follow. Appreciate you for joining. I go live every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time talking about cool tech and lifestyle products that really help creators out there. I would say the only other couple of things, I mean, I still have a couple of things that I want to talk about. Let me see. I talked about that before. You know, it's so interesting. We're only allowed 40 items per stream. And for some reason, I'm always afraid that I'm not going to have enough items to talk about. But this is one of those streams where I feel like I have so much to talk about for each item. But again, because I now am breaking down my live streams into bite-sized pieces to put on product pages, I wanted to record a slew of new videos. Oh my gosh, hello Chemo! Thank you so much for starting to follow. That's so awesome. Again, if you guys haven't followed me, please follow. I go live every Tuesday, but then if you follow me, you'll get a notification when I go live, so you don't have to like remember. It'll just like ding you when I am live. All right, so we talked about smart lights. Oh, the one thing I wanted to go over is my GoPro. Oh, I put the wrong one in there. I have a GoPro Hero 9, but it's the GoPro Hero 10 that I have in my carousel. If there's something you all are interested in asking me about when it comes to content creation, like audio, camera, tripods, lighting, let me know. So in the future, I know how best to cater to my viewers, because sometimes I don't know if what I'm talking about is exactly the kind of content you're needing to create. So I'm more than happy to share some other tools that you may need. I'm just trying to think about other ones that I haven't really talked about extensively in a while, because all of these items in my carousel I've talked about before. It's just been a minute. I was looking back at my past live streams and I realized I couldn't scroll past May 17th. So I've done live streams since January, but like I can't go beyond my May 17th. So in order to go live here, I also use the YOLObox Pro for my live stream, my 4K HDMI cables. One thing I'd love to share too that a lot of creators don't realize is when you're creating so much content, you're gonna be filling up your phone capacity or your computer capacity or your camera's capacity pretty quickly. So one about your storage is super important, and I will say SSD drives are a game changer. So if you've never heard of an SSD drive or a solid state drive, they have no parts, so you can, I wouldn't say throw it around, but if you dropped it, it wouldn't break. But these SSD drives have way more abilities to create a better, faster processor. So I actually brought this SSD card on the plane with me because my MacBook internal drive is getting full, super complete, right? But in order for me to render and export and video edit on the plane at a faster speed, I actually just drag my Final Cut Pro library onto an SSD drive now and save everything and my files on this SSD drive. That way my program is not pulling files from my actual computer's processor. It's pulling from my SSD drive. And these are super fast now. So I started off with the Samsung T5 that was 500 megabytes per second. Then you had the powered by OWC Electron, which was about 1,000 megabytes per second. This is the XS2000, and 2000 is just like the number, it's just like the speed. It's 2,000 megabytes per second. So if you're imagining you're reading and writing at 2,000 megabytes per second, this is some fast stuff, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go faster and faster. But for what you might need, this is really cool because not only can you work off of this drive, like your programs like your Adobe Photoshop or Premiere or even Final Cut Pro, you can put your programs on this, and that way it will offset and take off the load from your actual computer. And that way you're not like, oh my gosh, my computer's slow, I need to get a new computer, or I need to get a new computer. Like, obviously, this is a USB-C, so you have to make sure you have the right inputs. But having a MacBook Pro, I have 4 USB-C inputs. So USB-C to USB-C is super lightning fast. And not only can you work off of it, but it becomes an external hard drive if you want. So I actually utilize this when I go record the podcast Messy Sexy Me at my co-host's house. I put everything on this drive when I go, instead of bringing my terabytes or other hard drives that need power in order to like operate. That's the amazing thing. You don't need a power extension for these anymore. Gone are the days where you need to plug it into an actual power outlet. And in addition, these SSD drives also can be used as your camera internal storage for select cameras. Not all cameras are created like that, but for instance, like if you shoot with a Blackmagic Pocket 4K cinema camera, you're able to use this as your SD card. So there is a cord, and then when you're shooting 4K, 8K footage that takes up lots and lots of space, you're able to sync it up with your SSD card instead, because I will say my current SD cards for cameras are like, you know, you can see it right now, it's 128 gigabytes. This one is 1 terabyte. So I don't have to worry about shooting 4K, 8K quality and running out of space on those SD cards. I can move it over to an SSD drive, and now I can unlock capacities of 500 gigabyte, 1 terabyte, or 2 terabytes. And just depending on what you're utilizing it for, just make sure that you're getting the right capacity, because obviously the more capacity that you want, it's going to be more expensive, just how it is when you're talking about your phone's internal storage, when you're purchasing phones off of different plans. So that is a pro tip. If you're creating all this content, you're new into creating content, always think about the space, because you don't want to lose all of this amazing footage that you have. And then you'll also over time learn what's important to keep, what's important to let go. Maybe just save and export a file without like graphics and one with graphics. So if you ever were to put it in a reel, like I've done at the beginning of the show, you're able to take off the audio from the music and you can re-edit those clips. So just a way to save more space when you're going and creating content. But this one by Kingston Technology is the one that, oh, I realized I didn't even click on it the entire time I was talking about it. But yeah, this Kingston XS 2000 terabyte SSD drive, I've been utilizing this. I have 2 of them actually, and I use them interchangeably, but it has not run out of space yet. I do have a 16 terabyte drive at home, but I don't bring that everywhere. So when you're traveling, when you're editing on the road, when you're needing to transport large files, or when you're shooting 4K, 8K content, and you're needing something that's pretty tiny, look how tiny it is, you guys. It fits in the palm of my hands. If you need something tiny to bring with you as a backup, I would suggest getting an SSD drive or investing in an SSD drive, because these are super game changing and they're only going to get smaller and smaller too. So I'm all about like travel size friendly stuff. So that's my favorite SSD right now. Chemo asks, can you do one on your live streaming setup? Yes. I actually have one on my live streaming setup. I'm looking at the time. I can go over it very briefly, but you'll be severely disappointed if I'm ending at 8. So what I can do is I can reboot my live streaming setup for the next time I do live streaming. So unfortunately, because I am taking my first vacation next Tuesday, I'm not going to be doing a live stream next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that, I most certainly will. And I will queue it up, Chemo, that you would like to talk about live streaming. So I also, in the meantime, because I didn't have enough time to go over everything, this is my Amazon shop. And on my page, I truly and literally have a list, an idea list called live streaming. And it's all the live streaming gear that I actually use. So I will just leave it at that. But this is where I curate all my content and all my playlists. So if you ever can't catch a live stream, you can always check my homepage or my storefront, and I have lists there for you. But yes, Chemo, I will definitely keep that in mind, that I am needed to do a updated live streaming stream the next time I come back. But I appreciate you following and being a new follower. That's so awesome, Chemo. I just really, really appreciate you. Please let me know where you're tuning in from, because for the most part, I feel like a lot of people are on the West Coast. I have some folks in Canada. I also have some folks on the East Coast. So it's just really cool to get a gauge of who's tuning in and where everybody is at on their content creation journey. But yeah, I just really have enjoyed today. Today is November 8th. Again, the polls have just closed, officially closed, so I'm hoping and praying for change. I did go out and vote. That's why I got my little sticker. I hope you did too. Again, your voice matters, and I hope that, you know, we'll be able to get ourselves out of this funk that we're in lately. I also would like to share that if you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, I just launched a new sizzle reel for everything I've been doing as a tech channel on TechNicki Speaking. So go there and follow as well. And beyond that, I also have launched, we launched our sizzle reel for Messy Sexy Me. Oh, I totally took out that little thing. But yeah, I took it out. But Messy Sexy Me on, or messysexyme.com, or on Instagram, we also launched our sizzle reel for our first season podcast, which all 17 episodes are available now on all major podcasting networks. I'm talking about Amazon Music, Spotify, Google, Apple Music, or also our website, messysexyme.com. But we have a visual sizzle that just came out. It's over 5 minutes. I get really interested in seeing myself like that because I launched a hugely technical tech nerd reel today in the morning, and then right after we released this very sexy, very messy, very vulnerable reel afterwards. So 2 parts of my identity. But at the end of the day, I also want to give a huge love and shout out to my late dad. Today is his anniversary of his passing. It's been 7 years since I lost my dad to cancer. And I just want to honor him tonight. So after this live stream, I'm going to have an old-fashioned in his honor. But it's very interesting to share today that in my new reel, I have a piece where I was the NAB show spokesperson. And that was my dad's dream for me back in 2010 to say, one day you're going to be speaking on that show stage. And this year, it's so crazy to me that I was not only did I speak on the stage, I was the official NAB show spokesperson this year. So having that full circle moment and have that in my reel, I felt it was only appropriate to launch my new sizzle reel with that moment in there on my dad's anniversary. So just a lot of things going on today, and also, you know, election, you know, like change, and it just really puts you in a very reflective mood. But I thank you all so much today for joining me. And for following me and just being on this journey. You all inspire me and motivate and encourage me to keep doing what I do. So I appreciate you all so much. But again, I have to skip next week, but I will see you when we come back, and then I'll be doing a whole bunch of stuff for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So make sure you follow. But you all have a lovely evening, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.